Whew, mountain biking can be tough, right? But what if I told you there's a secret to making trails like this feel like a breeze? Stick around, because by the end of this video, we're going to reveal the ultimate hack to transform your ride into the ultimate joyride. Welcome back to Joy of Bike. I'm Mike, and in today's video, I'm joined once again by Chase Wheelie, and together, we're stoked to help you navigate trails just like this with ease with one simple trick.
Think it's too good to be true? Well, by the end of this video, you can try it and find out for yourself.
So what do we need to start learning this ultimate hack? Well, you don't need much. You just need your bike of choice, a helmet, and your favorite local trail.
What exactly is the ultimate hack that we're talking about today? It's straightforward, literally.
That's right. In today's video, we're going to be talking about looking ahead down the trail. This is a very simple skill that's often forgotten about, but we're going to show you how to apply it to your riding so you can get out there with more confidence immediately.
When we're new or not confident on the bike, we tend to look right in front of our front wheel to react to whatever obstacle is immediately in front of us. However, this is counteractive to speed and flow and will keep you from unlocking the ultimate joyride.
There are a few examples that we like to really display to show you the importance of looking ahead before we even get on the bike.
The first is a little bounce test. Stand up, look at your feet, and start bouncing up and down a little bit. Notice how blurry your vision is and how quickly everything around you seems to be moving. Now lift your head and stare at the horizon line in front of you. As you're bouncing, you'll notice the ground around you might still be moving, but the majority of the information within your vision has calmed significantly. Applying this to the bike, this will help us stay way more relaxed as we process all of the information that the trail is throwing at us.
So one of the things I noticed when you were doing that bounce test is that when your head is looking down at the ground, your head looks a lot heavier, it's bobbing around more, and it's more difficult to control, which is then making our vision even more blurry. But when you look up, your head seems to be more sturdy because it's being supported by your shoulder, which then makes vision way more clear and more easy to manage, and also probably will mean that your neck's going to be a whole lot less sore long term. We can also look at somebody walking across a tightrope for inspiration here. When you watch somebody navigating a high line, they're always looking ahead at where they want to go with clear vision. Every now and then they're going to look down at their feet to check their footing or something like that, but almost instantly their vision is going to return directly ahead of them to see where they're going. Now
this is where it starts to get interesting. We're going to talk about two main types of vision that we use regularly on the bike. That's actual sight and peripheral vision. In a nutshell, actual sight is confirmation and peripheral vision is information. But what does that actually mean?
Actual sight or central vision is what you focus on directly. When riding a bike, actual sight provides confirmation of details that you need to pay attention to, such as the exact line we're taking through a corner, obstacles in our path, or areas we need to shift up or down.
Peripheral vision provides information about your surroundings without looking directly at them. This helps you stay aware of your broader environment, such as changes in trail conditions, oncoming riders, or potential hazards in your way. By using an appropriate combination of actual sight and peripheral vision, we can enhance our ability to corner effectively, climb efficiently, and tackle our favorite trail with more confidence and more fun than ever before.
So first things first, let's make climbing a little more easy by just seeing clearly. We're going to start by utilizing central vision to look ahead on the trail and anticipate gradient changes and analyze trail conditions. Doing this allows us to select the appropriate gear to be in. It's going to also allow us to determine the pace we need to be traveling at to get up the climb, as well as determining the most efficient route to climb up the trail.
Some sections of trail are so technical that we can't pedal through them smoothly. Looking ahead helps us identify these sections ahead of time so we can attack them appropriately. Sometimes this means finding an opportunity before a technical section to catch our breath before cranking down a few explosive pedal strokes, or finding enough momentum to enter a technical section to get through it smoothly.
Peripheral vision comes in clutch when it comes to detecting changes in the trail's terrain, such as a rock that may have been kicked up by another rider or oncoming traffic. It also helps us anticipate obstacles like rocks or stumps that line the sides of the trails that we may end up striking our pedals on.
By leveraging both central and peripheral vision effectively, we can climb with more confidence, maintain momentum, and navigate those challenging terrain features with much more skill. This makes those annoying bits of climbing so much more manageable and way more joyful.
When it comes to descending or navigating a rock garden, if our vision is focused right in front of our front tire, chances are we're not seeing what comes next. To equate this to a real life scenario that you've most likely experienced, which is sitting in stop and go traffic, if we're focused on the car's brake lights in front of us, we're gonna be slamming on our brakes pretty frequently. However, if we're able to look around that car to the car in front of them, or maybe a couple cars down the line, we're gonna be able to preemptively slow down, and we're not gonna necessarily be slamming on our brakes as much. So with that being said, to tackle these super chunky, sometimes impossible looking sections of trail, we're gonna utilize a blend of central vision and peripheral vision with an emphasis of looking down the trail.
So we've all seen GoPro footage that looks like this. Now, why does this look so awful and unenjoyable to watch? Well, it's kind of because there's nothing really to see here. It's just a bunch of blurry nonsense that's passing in front of the screen. Now, if we tilt the camera to a heads up position, we can see and process so much more information and begin to feel like we're on the bike ourselves. The same thing is true when we're actually riding our bike. If we're looking down at our front tire, we're just seeing a bunch of nonsense passing in front of us. But as soon as we look up and look ahead down the trail, we can appropriately respond and make adjustments to our riding based on the terrain that's coming towards us. Another reason to keep our head up and our eyes looking forward through these chunky sections is a fun word called proprioception. This is essentially our spatial awareness that we get through our peripheral vision, but if you want a more in-depth explanation on what this is, I'd recommend Googling it because it's pretty interesting. Proprioception allows us to appropriately respond to the way our bike is moving under us according to the terrain that we're covering. Pairing this with heads-up riding and momentum allows us to cover these tricky sections and rock gardens with way more confidence.
Now on to cornering. Approaching corners with confidence, especially as a new rider, can be a little bit overwhelming. But pairing vision alongside of a central riding position on the bike will turn you into a cornering machine in no time. As we approach a corner, we need to determine the appropriate speed to enter said corner. We do this by identifying the apex or the turning point of the corner to determine how tight the radius of the corner is. Obviously, in most cases, the tighter the radius of a corner, the slower we want to go. It becomes very important to identify the turning point of the corner way ahead of time so we can brake before we get to the corner and not brake while we're in it. Now, we can go into great detail about why this is important, but I think that would be better suited in another video. So if you'd like us to cover cornering in greater detail, let us know down in the comments below. Another beautiful thing about approaching corners with this heads-up riding position with a focus on vision is that we're going to be able to maintain our speed as we go through these corners. And in some cases, we're actually going to be able to build momentum through corners and as we exit them, which will allow us to get prepared for what's to come next on the trail. Cornering is often the most difficult part about riding trails well and fast, which may make this the most important part of this tutorial. It's often said that looking ahead is one of the most fundamental pieces to cornering. So keep your eyes up, look ahead, and continuously focus on what's to come.
Whoa. All right, now let's talk about traction. Not only is it really important in cornering, but it'll also help you fuel your fun thanks to today's video sponsor, Traction Coffee. Click the link in the video description for 30% off your first order.
In your world, fun is the currency of effort. Enjoy pure, all-natural fuel to keep you moving forward, no matter the task. For the doers, the fun havers, the all-around go-getters, fuel your fun with Traction Coffee.
We've covered a ton of vital information on how to confidently conquer troubling sections of trail. But now let's talk about going from just smoothing that trail out to turning it into an all-out roller coaster of joy.
Have you ever been down a trail for the first time with a buddy or a local ripper, and somehow they're discovering all these smooth lines, jumps, or side hits that you didn't even know existed?
Well, I can almost guarantee that this is how they're doing it. They're just looking far enough ahead and actively scanning the trail to identify those opportunities with enough time to properly act on them.
And this is where the ultimate joyride is unlocked. With heads-up riding, we can go from just making it down the trail to being able to identify opportunities for speed, flow, and creativity.
A rock that was once a hindrance turns into a gap jump.
A climb that was once impossible turns into a sessionable playground.
A boring section of trail turns into the perfect place to lay down a sweet manual.
Remember, to unlock the ultimate joyride, we want to look ahead at where we're going, not where we are at the moment. The beautiful thing about this is that it doesn't just apply to the bike, it also has merit in everyday life.
Yeah, and to build on that, you can think, the person walking down the street with their head held high, looking straight ahead, is almost always going to look more confident than the guy staring right down at his shoes.
Totally.
And this applies to riding just as well. If we are looking ahead way down the trail, we'll be way more confident on our bike, and I promise you it'll revolutionize the way you ride.
I also think that's something good to check in on as we're riding, right? If we're not riding well, let's think about where our head's at, where we're looking. Chances are, if we're having a bad day on the bike, we're probably not focusing straight ahead down the trail. Thank you so much for joining us in this video. We had an absolute blast hanging out with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, cruise down and hit that like button so we can help share the stoke with others. If this type of information helped you with your riding, hit the comment section down below and let us know. Feedback is always extremely valuable. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to ring that notification bell. Until next time, keep shredding those trails with your head held high. Stay rad, Joyriders. Later.
And Mike left his phone here. Well, while I'm here, we have 2 awesome tutorials on great skills that we used on today's joyride. So click on whichever one applies to you. We got manualing over here and jumping over here. We'd love to see you over there. Till next time, thank you guys for riding with us. We'll see you soon. Bye.